A big part of that manga was an evil version of me named Itami, which means pain in Japanese. And he wears his blindfold, and he's basically an agent of chaos, and kind of my alter ego was, as a detective, I'd be like solving murders that I'm committing myself.
The body was found rotting in the trunk of David's Tesla. So foul, so shocking, even the toughest investigators froze for a second. Just days later, her parents released a disturbing ritual video that blew up the internet and had everyone screaming conspiracy. That's when federal agents stormed his Hollywood Hills mansion, ripping the place apart. What they uncovered was straight out of a horror script, lyrics that read like confessions, private Discord chats full of secrets, and old clips that looked like dark warnings no one took seriously. Every single clue drags this case into a deeper nightmare, bigger, stranger, and way more twisted than anyone thought possible. It all kicked off in early September, when Los Angeles police came across a Tesla that had been sitting untouched for days at an impound lot. Neighbors from the Hollywood Hills had been complaining about a disgusting stench drifting through the air, so the car finally got hauled away. When officers popped open the trunk, they were hit with the worst discovery imaginable, a bag stuffed with human remains. By September 17th, forensic tests confirmed the body belonged to 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who had vanished from Riverside County months earlier, back in April 2024. The medical examiner immediately treated it as a homicide. But here's the chilling part. The body was so badly decomposed that investigators couldn't even determine what exactly ended her life. That Tesla? It was registered straight to singer David. Reports said it had been sitting in the lot for days before anyone even thought to check what was inside, and the trail of paperwork led right back to him through Hempstead Tech. When Celeste's remains were finally released, her family was crushed. On September 23rd, they posted a heartbreaking statement on their GoFundMe page, calling her a beloved daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. A candlelight vigil followed soon after, with neighbors and classmates sharing emotional stories of her short life. But while the community grieved, David's spokesperson went on NBC, claiming he was fully cooperating with authorities. Once fans caught wind of the news, they went into overdrive. The second Celeste's body was confirmed to be in David's Tesla. The internet mob started dissecting his lyrics like detectives on a mission. What they uncovered was straight up chilling. His words no longer sounded like art. They read like dark admissions. One unreleased track that resurfaced online even had him singing directly about someone named Celeste. The coincidence was too much for people to ignore, and speculation exploded like wildfire.
Yo, wait! Pray for his career, chat. Are we done? Are we?
We need to delete this.
Are we? Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too? Can we delete everything? You done for, bro? Y'all are not done? Now you gonna wait!
The lyrics themselves sent chills through the internet. He sang, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest, smell her on my clothes like cigarettes, hear her voice each time I take a breath, I'm obsessed." Another line was even darker. "Be my Valentine, I want to make you be suicidal." People stopped calling it art after that. No one was brushing these words off as creative writing anymore. Every lyric suddenly felt like a clue, like a confession hiding in plain sight. Fans began matching his lyrics to the real-life tragedy, and the similarities were too close to ignore. Even his official work started to look like evidence. In February, his music video One More Dance dropped. A disturbing scene showed a body being dragged and stuffed into a trunk, eerily mirroring how Celeste's remains were found. On stage, he sometimes rolled out a literal casket during performances, almost like he was staging a funeral in front of everyone. Back in February, while promoting his Withered album, D4d wrote on Instagram, "This album means so much to me. You have no idea the blood, sweat, and tears that came with trying to create this project over the past 2 years," pairing it with a photo of himself lying in flowers. At the time, it looked like a poetic shot. But now, with everything unraveling, it feels heavier, darker. Fans are wondering if he'd been rehearsing the crime all along, right in front of them. When investigators raided his Hollywood Hills home on September 17th, they weren't just after physical evidence. They were digging for the truth behind every word, every image, every hint he ever left behind. Investigators weren't just tearing through his mansion. They were dissecting his art, his videos, and every trace of his online history, trying to figure out if those dark references were just performance or something rooted in reality. One homicide expert even said, "There's a lot to untangle here. He's presumed innocent, but we've seen juries in Los Angeles accept wild defense theories before. Detectives need to cross their T's and dot their I's." The pressure was on, and the clock was ticking.
David's Discord moderators are deleting everything in the Discord server, but honestly, I don't think they're that smart, and I don't think they've ever read the rules of Discord, because Discord can download all of that information.
Meanwhile, fans kept digging through his catalog, and the deeper they went, the more the lines between his persona and reality blurred. That's when another disturbing layer surfaced: his hidden online world. Old posts and buried videos began reappearing, painting a picture far darker than anyone imagined. One TikTok from December 14th, 2024 showed what looked like D4vd's slipping money to a kid, apparently telling him to stay quiet about his relationship with Celeste. Back then, it barely made noise online, but now people see it as a giant red flag, a warning sign almost 10 months before her body was found. Even more disturbing, members of his own Discord server seemed to know about Celeste. Screenshots started circulating, showing conversations where the connection was casually discussed. Out of thousands of members, only one, someone using the name Zalo, tried to raise the alarm. Everyone else either ignored it or brushed it off as gossip. That silence has fans furious. One user posted, "For years, apparently." How does that app not monitor these kinds of things? Why did no one report it? She was failed by so many people. Another echoed, "I agree. The app should be able to monitor these types of things and be on top of it." The heartbreak only grew worse online. On X, fans began resharing Celeste's childhood photos, reminding the world just how young she really was. One furious post went viral, reading, "She was literally a baby, bro. D4vd, you need to get stepped on, wrapped up, and thrown out like trash, straight to hell. We're gonna get Celeste and her family justice." But the fury wasn't just aimed at D4vd. It was about the countless red flags that everyone seemed to miss. Celeste first went missing in early 2024, only to be returned home by police. Then, when she vanished again in May, that was it. She disappeared completely until the horror of her body being discovered months later in the Tesla. To fans, this timeline painted a chilling picture of failure after failure, with warning signs left unchecked. And if the TikTok video and Discord chatter were real, it made things even darker. It meant D4vd wasn't just hiding her. He was parading her existence in plain sight, while the world turned its head. The internet's anger spiked when fans resurfaced a video from one of his shows. In the clip, he threw a heart sign directly at her in the crowd, not long before her body was found. By this point, the internet wasn't just suspicious, they were convinced. Every lyric, every online move, every performance suddenly looked like pieces of the same terrifying puzzle. And then, police attention locked onto the one place that could hold the darkest secrets, his house.
Is speaking out about her relationship with David. Celeste's brother, named Matthew Rivas, told NBCLA that the family was aware of the alleged relationship between Celeste and David. Claimed that his sister vanished after going to see a movie with David in May of last year.
On September 17th, just hours after Celeste was officially identified, investigators swarmed D4vd's Hollywood Hills mansion. Neighbors stood frozen as they watched teams with flashlights, evidence bags, and testing kits moving in and out of the property non-stop. The home was only a block and a half from where his Tesla had been abandoned before being towed, a detail that made the whole thing even creepier. Reports say officers went through everything: sinks, showers, drains, even outdoor pipes, searching for blood or tissue that could prove Celeste's final moments happened inside those walls. Detectives seriously believed she may have been killed right there in that mansion before her body was stuffed into the car's trunk, and then came the most shocking twist yet. Insider sources revealed that Celeste's parents released a tape they claim showed D4vd in the middle of some kind of ritual. People who've seen it call it creepy and disturbing, with imagery so unsettling it instantly went viral in whispers and leaks. The so-called ritual tape had fans wondering if D4vd's dark alter ego wasn't just a stage act, but something far more sinister. And then people dug up an old interview he did with Mahogany. In it, D4vd talked about creating a character named Itam, a word that means pain in Japanese. He explained that Itam was part of an anime idea, a detective whose twisted dark side committed murders while his good side tried to solve them. At the time, it sounded like edgy, over-the-top storytelling. But now, with Celeste's death casting a shadow over everything, those words feel like chilling foreshadowing. Detectives know they can't afford to mess this up. They've only got one shot. so they're carefully piecing together every shred of physical and digital evidence before making any formal charges. Meanwhile, the pressure around D4D is reaching a breaking point. His tour is canceled. His label yanked promotion for his new album. But here's the twisted irony. His breakout hit Romantic Homicide just re-entered the Billboard 200, racking up over 12 million streams in a single day. His career numbers are climbing even as his reputation is crashing into the ground. And fans aren't letting up. The outrage is fierce. To them, this isn't about a pop star's downfall. It's about a young girl who lost her life while red flags were ignored again and again. If you want to keep up with this story as it unfolds, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. It helps the channel keep digging into stories the mainstream won't touch. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and as always, see you on the next video.